Hi, this is Erin from Blossy Bee. Welcome to my channel. The plan for this video is to use 3 more moulds from the July 2026 resin mould box, this time using a mineral casting powder for a porcelain-like finish. This thoughtfully curated mould box has given me a lot of pleasure, and if you haven't yet watched part 1, you can follow the link in the description box to watch me unpack the collection and make the eagle and the stunning owl ornaments. I'll also link part 2 where I use glass-like epoxy resin to create the crescent moon candle holder and the magical apple fairy pot. So I'm going to use lavender, sweet pea pink and robin's egg blue. Now the one I need to work with probably first is this mould. Now I've done the calculations and I'll show you those. So I've worked out which moulds I'm working with, and I've got the pebble vase that holds 160 mils. So I've divided, so I've multiplied that by 1.9, which gives me 304 grams that I need. And so I've worked that out as 75 grams of water and 225 grams of powder. Next, we've got the ripple vase. Oh, I've also broken this one into 4 in case I want to try and do quarters. The ripple vase, which is 200 mils. Again, all of them are multiplied by 1.9. That's what this one will work out to. The layered box, the one I'm about to do, and the rose tray. So the layered box is the one I need to focus on at the moment. So for each layer, each one of these has got a capacity of 140 mils. So multiply that by 1.9 gives me 266, and I've worked out that that means around 70 grams of water and 210 grams of powder per piece. Okay, so it's going to have a lid and then the stacking pieces. This is the Solid Solutions Solidcrete. It's a very bright white gypsum based eco casting powder, and I buy it in 10 kilogram tubs, which is just so convenient, and it's an amazing price. And it is a 3-to-1 ratio, which is why I've worked out the 1 part water and 3 parts powder. And it's very fast setting, so this will be cured in probably under an hour. And I'm going to make the top, let's see, I think I'm going to make the top a really pale sweet pea pink. Now I actually would like to try and get some white showing through as well, so I'm not going to stir it as much as I normally would. Pop that in. Just making sure that I'm getting down to the bottom. I really like it when I see those little sort of chunky pieces. I wonder how I could do that. Maybe just like that, we'll see. All right, so now I need 70 mils of water. So this is the top of the lid and this is the base. I might just see if I can sprinkle a teeny little bit of pigment powder onto the lid. Just to see if that does anything. I don't know. Who would know? All right, I'm going to tip the powder into the water now. And the way I like to remember to do this is liquid colours into liquid. So that would be the water. Oh, this is ridiculous how I've done this. Too small a cup. And powder into the powder. Oh, that's so silly of me. Note to self, don't do this again. That was really not smart. All right, let's see. Might try and do sort of a bit of a, I don't think it'll make any difference whatsoever. It would if there were other colours in there, but there's just not enough contrast for it to make any difference here. Okay, and I'm just going to give that a bit of a jiggle and a wiggle. Pop it over here. Perfect. Okay. Looking cute. And this time I think I'll use the Robin's Egg Blue, which always looks sort of more pale green to me, which is why I chose this one. That definitely looks like a pale green to me. Okay, so now we need 70 grams of water and I'm going to use a proper cup. By proper, I mean one that's the right size. Okay. Again, I'm not at all worried if this is not mixed thoroughly through. Variations are welcome. Okay. So I wonder if this one is going to be tricky with bubbles. I hope not. I've had enough of that sort of a mould. Bit over it. Oh no, it is. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, that is so annoying. Oh, so I love that green stripe there. So I can't, I don't, what happens if I really jiggle it and wiggle it and tap it and do all the things? Well, that's looking pretty good. Okay. Perfect. Mix again. Less than an hour later, time to demold. Okay, so we'll have a look at the lid first. Oh wow. Now I don't think I'm going to keep doing that technique. So if that's the lid, I need to give that a good sand so it comes up all pretty. Fingers crossed with this one. We don't have any big bubble. Oh, there's one. Look. Oh, that is so pretty. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. So these are on the bottom and there's very few. Oh, I love that. So fits perfectly. Loving it. Okay, what I might do is move those over to a drying rack on some paper towel so that I can have enough room to make the next one. I'll clean this mould up a little bit just quickly. and get pouring. I'm so happy with that. I think that one, now I know that that was the lid. If I was making it again, I might have tried to get a bit of swirling on it. And this one is going to be the lavender. Ah, well, I'd say I'm going to have quite a bit of sanding on this one. I don't really know how to avoid it. Okay, that one's done. So this is our second jar. That is so lovely. Love, love, love. Okay, very pretty. Next, I'm going to be working on these two moulds. I've got the pebble vase and the ripple vase, and I'm going to cast these in just plain white solid crete. I'm not going to add any colouring to the mixture at all. I wonder if I'll be able to mix both in there. I can try. Okay, so how much water would I need? I would need 170 of water. Near enough. And then with the powder, that's if it's in 3, so 225 and 285 equals 510. So I need to mix in 510 grams of the powder. So I'll tear this back to 0 and start getting in 510 grams. And I'm going to use one of my big stirrers. Those figures all worked out beautifully, and now I've filled those two moulds. I only have to wait about an hour and we'll see how they turn out. Looking good so far. Till we get a satisfying pop. Not really. Okay, there we go. I don't love the shape of it, but this one. Okay. Wow. Not a bubble to be seen. Okay. Well, there you go. I had been thinking about actually colouring these afterwards or adding something to them, but they're both very sculptural and they really look amazing just in that pure white. These have cured now for several days and I'm going to use some sandpaper. My nails are already showing the effect of some other sandpaper sanding I was doing, but I thought before I do my nails I might as well do this. So I've got 3 sanding blocks, the Rocket brand, and these are from Bunnings in Australia. I've got 120 grit fine, 600 super fine and 800 ultra fine, and I thought I would give them a go. I've written what they are on the end so I will know, although I guess you could always pop them back into their little sleeve. So the first one I want to do is the lid. So this is the inside, which is just gorgeous. That mica powder's given it a beautiful sheen, but because of the way this mould is designed, this is the outside surface, which is unusual for a lid. Normally you'd have it super shiny and beautiful, but it is quite flat and I don't have any bubbles or anything, so I'm hoping I can fairly quickly get this nice and smooth. So already that feels amazing. That's incredible. I'm going to keep the surface very wet and I'm going around in circles. Okay, brilliant. Now I don't need to do the edge or underneath because those two parts were touching the shiny silicone mould. Next we'll go for the 600. Beautiful. And then lastly we've got the 800 grit, which they call ultra fine, but I know many of us go up in grits to 2,000 or 3,000 regularly. Okay. that feels amazing. So I'm going to go and rinse this just carefully and set it aside to dry. And I want to do this one first before the others because I want to put something on top of this one. It feels great. Okay, time to have a look at these ones. Now, these little bubbles around the edge don't necessarily bother me because they are going to be on the base. So I might need to get some smaller sanding materials, but we'll just go around and see what we can do. These are looking and feeling great, so I'm going to go over and rinse them off and set these aside to dry as well. Once all these pieces are dry, it'll be time to start working on a little bit of decorating. So this has all been sanded as needed, and we've got the 3 different sections all looking lovely. Now on the top I thought I would add in a temporary tattoo. Now this one is like a woodland dream and it's so pretty, like a little polar bear there. So I'm just going to cut that out. And then pop that tattoo there. And then I've got a little dish of water and I'm just going to take off the top layer. And then I'm going to place this down. And then I'm just going to dampen a microfiber cloth, well, doesn't really matter what type of cloth, and then press down. And the idea is we're just getting it completely saturated, but not that much that it's, you know, going to wash away. And you will just start to feel it move after a little while. You can also just leave it for, 10 or 20 seconds if you want to. And there we go. Oh, that is so sweet. I love that. Now, because I've got these 2 little matching ones, I've decided that I'm going to put one in each of the trays, just as a little surprise when you open them up. These would have come from probably Temu or AliExpress or somewhere like that, in a large pack. You often get like 50 little sheets, and I just think that a little bit, you know, on the edge. I don't really want to put them all in the middle because that would make it look a bit layered. But we're just going to pop this one in. What's that little? Look there. We'll pop that there and dampen that down. And then I'll do the same for the pale green layer. So I'm just taking off that top piece and popping it down. I'll just do it there. Doesn't really matter where it goes. It's not, I'm not trying to have it all matchy exactly. Oh, that just slid straight away. Look how sweet that is. That one just went too. Beautiful. It's just a sweet little surprise, you know, if you have them stacked like that. Take it off. It's just like, oh, an extra little something. So I'm going to just sit these here to dry thoroughly now before I go ahead and put on a sealing coat. So it shouldn't take long at all. Okay, I've got all of the pieces here ready for sealing, and I'm going to use two different sealers. So I'm going to use the Artco Match Sealer inside and outside of these. So doing all of them with this one. And I'm going to use the Gillies Liquid Beeswax for these two. And I would have loved to use this one for this as well, but because it's got a temporary tattoo on it, I just don't love how wax sits on top of those. So first thing I'm going to do is to get a brush. And I'm just going to tip a little bit into this one because I want to make sure it's waterproof, being a vase, and get a good coverage on that one. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. Just make sure I get all of the insides covered. And then I can just start working on the outside. I'll just go and wash my hands and then I'm ready to do this one. Okay, for this one, I'm just going to give this a shake and then pop some onto a clean microfiber cloth. And I don't find this particular product does anything much to the appearance of your work. For example, waxes can definitely bring out a deeper colour and make things look more intense, but this just seems to be a really good sort of matte protector, and sometimes that's exactly what you need. Okay, while that one is soaking in, it is time to give these ones a buff, and so just using a soft clean cloth, going in and getting off any excess and making sure it's rubbed in. And as I mentioned, you can certainly do this several times, and I will do the base. Done. Oh, that feels so gorgeous. Just makes the pieces even more tactile than they were. Okay, that one belongs to that, and then I'll get another clean cloth. I'll just pop the lid on that one. They've got to do the bases, so now I've already done the inside of that one, but I'll just give this another wipe around. And then do the two bases. Such a pretty mould, isn't it? Very sort of whimsical, but you know, very feminine as well. And of course, you can put a cork base on whichever one is, you know, going to be your base, or some little feet. You can get the little furniture protecting feet, or the little cork circles. Done. Okay, so we're finished with that cloth and that one. I just wash these in the washing machine in a hot soapy wash, and I haven't had any issues with that. I'll just buff the bottom, these two. That one's done. That one's done. And then Oh, I did notice this, that they sort of go around, which is so cute. Obviously, they wouldn't do that if you push a stopper on the bottom. All right, there we go. All sealed, ready for use. Here are these beautiful makes. This is the Moonflow Ripple Vase. It's very elegant. This one is the Pebble Breeze stacked vase, and it's definitely grown on me. Very stylish. And then lastly, we have the Daisy Stack layered jewellery box. And you can add as many of these little storage areas as you wish. So what a wonderful box this has been. The box itself is actually sold out, but you can still get individual molds. And if you go to Resin Mold Box and search by latest in the molds, these ones will come up. And you're very welcome to use my discount code GlossyB to have some savings there. And if you are interested in getting a subscription, they are really good value. It's a great way to get some creative ideas and some new molds, and yeah, it's a lot of fun too. As usual, I asked ChatGPT to take the items that I've made and put them into a background for me, and this is what we've come up with. We have the layered pebble vase styled as a little makeup brush holder, and of course our beautiful ripple vase looking very Scandinavian and stylish in a living area. And then we've got the beautiful Daisy Stack jewellery box just sitting there ready for you to pop all of your beautiful jewellery into. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so happy that I could share these with you, and I definitely appreciate your company. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see me make these molds in any other way or any of the other molds from this series. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.